don't scroll. From this moment on, every knock you hear at 3 a.m. will never sound the same again. Because once you read the next line, you'll learn something most people never should. There are beings who don't want to hurt you, they just want to be remembered. And once you become aware of them, they never leave. A young couple finally moved into their dream home in a quiet suburban neighborhood. Fresh paint, trimmed lawn, friendly neighbors, it was everything they'd hoped for. Except for one thing, the abandoned house next door. Its back gate was always open, facing directly into their yard. On their very first night, while having dinner, the husband glanced toward the window and froze. A man was standing in the dark outside, not moving, not blinking, just staring at them from the abandoned house. The next morning, it got worse. 3 more men wandered straight through the open gate into their backyard, uninvited, holding random objects like stolen junk, insisting the couple buy them. The police chased them away, but peace never returned. Midnight knocks with no one at the door, footsteps circling the house, whispers near the windows. Then one morning, their security camera, gone, cleanly removed. In its place, sitting upright on the doorstep, was a single Jester card, bent backward, curved like it was smiling. At the same time, in another city, a woman had just escaped from a manipulative boyfriend. She changed her number, moved to a new place, even changed her hairstyle to erase her past. But then, a barista at a cafe called her by a private nickname only her ex used. A rideshare driver repeated the exact teasing phrase he used to say. An old woman on the street whispered, "He misses you." She began losing sleep, afraid to go outside. Under her doormat, something appeared, another Jester card. In a lakeside town near Lake Michigan, a big family rented a large Airbnb. Some of them slept in the converted garage behind the house. At 3 a.m., the entire garage shook violently from loud pounding. A man stood outside the door, silently watching them, then vanished without leaving footprints. The next morning, 2 Jester cards appeared on the window. One new, one old, as if someone had signed their presence. 3 stories, seemingly unrelated. But then, the people involved coincidentally met in an online paranormal forum and discovered that all of them had once encountered strangers who appeared simply to perform one action, to make them unable to stop thinking about the presence of something invisible. An anonymous account left a final comment before disappearing. Open quote, "We don't want to harm you. We just want to make sure you will remember us forever." Close quote. After that strange message, the forum went silent. The remaining people started messaging each other privately, forming a small group chat for one purpose, to feel like they still belonged to the normal world. Each of them thought, if someone still talks to me, it means I haven't gone insane. The young couple suggested keeping a daily journal. They installed 3 more cameras around the house, this time better hidden and securely locked. But the next morning, none of them were destroyed. Instead, they were intact, except all the recordings were fast-forwarded, skipping through frames as if someone had watched them many times, fast-forwarding and rewinding, like someone savoring the moment of watching them eat, sleep, or simply sit in the living room, unaware they were being observed. The wife began hearing knocking at exactly 3:17 every night. Not too loud, not too scary, but never missing a night. She didn't dare open the door, but she also couldn't ignore it. On the 4th night, she gathered all her courage, stormed out and shouted, "I know who you are, I'm not afraid." But no one was outside. Only a white plastic chair, their own chair from the backyard, placed right in front of the door. And on it, another Jester card, bent differently this time, like it was tilting its head and laughing. The woman who once escaped her ex started experiencing worse things. She no longer heard familiar phrases from strangers. She began hearing the voice inside her own head, not as a clear hallucination, but like a thought that didn't belong to her. For example, when she thought, "I should go to sleep," a male voice whispered inside, "Sleep, so I can see you better." She jolted up. See me better? What does that mean? She wondered. At that exact moment, her night lamp flickered. The window was closed, but the curtains swayed, though there was no wind. She ran to check under her doormat again. The Jester card from before had vanished, but something else replaced it. A small mirror reflecting her face, but in the reflection she was looking behind herself. She froze. She didn't dare turn around. Clearly, no one was in the room. But in the reflection, there was a silhouette behind her, very close, just a few centimeters away. She dropped the mirror, but in that split second, she felt a faint breath against her ear. Meanwhile, the family at the Airbnb fell into collective insomnia. No one dared sleep in the garage anymore, but even inside the main house, they still heard knocking from the garage, always at the same time. 3 a.m. on the dot. Never early, never late. They once considered breaking open the garage to see what was inside, but then one member, a 14-year-old boy, whispered, "Don't open it. It doesn't want to come in. It just wants us to know it's there." That sentence sent chills through everyone. How could a child say something like that, as if it wasn't him speaking? That night they didn't hear knocking. Instead, they heard footsteps on the roof. Those footsteps were nothing like an animal. Not a cat, not a squirrel, not wind shaking branches. They were too rhythmic, as if someone were walking step by step, slowly, deliberately, making sure they heard. Each step stopped directly above each person, walking over the living room. Stop. Over the kitchen. Stop. Over the hallway where 3 children hid under blankets praying with their eyes shut. Stop for much longer. The eldest man in the family, someone who always claimed, "I don't believe in ghosts," tried to act brave. He whispered, "It's just the wind, or someone messing with us. It's fine." And at that exact moment, 3 knocks hit the window on the 2nd floor. Knock, 3 times. No one dared pull back the curtain, but they knew. Even if they didn't look, that thing was still looking at them. In the group chat, all 3 sides started sharing more details. The more they talked, the more they realized the events happening to them had a similar rhythm. Knocking, footsteps, the appearance of Jester cards, all repeated at the same time. 3 a.m., someone joked. Maybe they're like salesmen, but they're selling fear. No one laughed. Then something strange happened in the group chat. One member, with the display name Laughing Guest, who had never spoken since the group was created, suddenly sent one image. No one remembered adding this person to the group, but the image silenced everyone. It was photos of all 3 groups. The couple eating dinner in their living room, shot from outside the window. The woman lying in her bedroom, shot from the ceiling as if someone was crawling above. The Airbnb family huddled together, shot from above the roof. None of them had taken those pictures. And even worse, in each photo at the corner there was always a figure. Unclear, blurry, not fully shaped, like it hadn't decided what it wanted to look like yet. The husband typed with trembling hands, "Who the hell is messing with us? Who took these?" Laughing Guest replied, open quote, "No one took them. We just recreated what you refused to look at." Close quote. Then the account changed its profile picture to a bent Jester card. That night, all 3 groups had the same dream. They stood in a pitch-black room with no walls, no ceiling, no floor. Just an endless void, so cold they couldn't tell if they were standing or floating. In the center of the darkness was a chair facing away from them. They knew something was sitting there, but they didn't dare approach. Then the voice came, not from in front but inside their heads. Open quote, "We don't want to hurt you, really. We only want to exist inside your minds, because only when you remember us, we become real." Close quote. The woman screamed in the dream, "Who are you?" At that moment, the chair turned, but there was no face, no eyes, no mouth, no features at all, just a blurry mass, undefined. But she, and everyone else in the dream, knew. It was smiling, not with lips, not with teeth, but with its existence. All 3 groups woke up at the same time, in 3 different places, miles apart. And what happened next made them realize nothing had even begun yet. In front of each of them lay a new Jester card, no longer bent, no longer distorted, no longer mocking. This time the card was placed face down, as if waiting for them to flip it. No one could sleep after that dream. Each person in different places sat up in bed, staring at the Jester card lying face down in front of them. No one said a word, but they all understood. This was a choice, an invitation, a trap, a ritual, or perhaps a doorway. In the group chat, no one spoke for 10 minutes. Only the typing indicator appeared, then disappeared. Appeared, then disappeared. As if everyone wanted to speak, but didn't know whether saying it out loud would attract something listening. Finally, the husband was the first to send a message. Open quote, "If we don't turn it over, will they stop?" Close quote. The woman who fled her ex replied, open quote, "They don't want us to flip it. They want us to think forever about whether to flip it or not." Close quote. One member from the Airbnb group typed, open quote, "I'm afraid that even if we don't flip it, one day it'll flip by itself." Close quote. Then, like a silent pat, the entire group sent the same message, almost simultaneously. Open quote, "I won't flip it." Close quote. For a few seconds, everything was quiet, until, one by one, they heard the sound of paper turning right in front of them. Slow, clear, unmistakable. The card flipped itself. They froze. No one dared look down. But they felt it. Something had changed in the air. It was no longer cold, it was warm, but not a comforting warmth. It was the warmth of someone's breath, pressed against the back of their neck, as if something had just stood up from the card itself. The last thing they heard before everything went black was not knocking, not laughter, not footsteps, but a whisper. A voice that couldn't be identified as old or young, male or female, near or far. Open quote, "Now that, you've remembered us long enough." Close quote, open quote, "From now on." Close quote. Open quote, "Don't forget." Close quote. After that night, the group chat went dead. No one replied to any more messages. No one posted again on the paranormal forum. The remaining accounts vanished one by one, as if they had never existed. But the scariest part was, Jester cards started appearing in places where nothing had ever happened before. On the doorstep of a curious neighbor who had read their story. On the desk of a police officer who once handled a trespassing case. In the drawer of someone who merely watched a video recounting this story. No one dared flip them anymore. Because now, they all understood. Some things don't need to be seen to know they're standing right behind you. The end. Or the beginning.